Sure, the Oklahoma City Thunder may have gotten bounced before even reaching the playoffs this year, but in my opinion, this season was a giant W in the win column for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not only did Shai Gilgeous-Alexander establish himself as one of the best players in the NBA, but this young team proved that they can hang with the big dogs and were one game away from making the NBA playoffs. Josh Giddey, Dort, Jalen Williams, all three of those guys had big seasons, as well as obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they did it all without their number 2 overall pick, Chet Holmgren. So we're going to be talking all about the Thunder here today, so make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now, yes, they went on a good run this year. They made the play-in, they won a game in the play-in, and they were one game away from the playoffs, as we just stated. Nobody expected this. Like, before the season, this team was expected to be in contention for Victor Wembanyama. Instead, they were in contention for the playoffs. 5th in points per game and 13th in offensive rating. Now, their point per game numbers are a little bit off because they did play at a very fast pace. 19th in opponents' points per game, 14th in defensive rating. So, middle of the pack in both of the efficiency stats. And then, as we said, young team, 3rd in pace of play. They love to get up and down the court. This team, however, it is very, very good. Think their over-under wins, 23.5 was their over-under in wins. Huge surprise. I mean, they just shocked the entire world, essentially. Now, they did get some great playoff experience. Big-time atmospheres, especially in New Orleans early on. And then the second game was a very high atmosphere as well in Minnesota. So you get a lot of great playoff experience. Playoff experience is very valuable. You want to be building those good habits, unlike what we're watching down in Houston right now and a couple of other places. And the more playoff experience you can get your young core, the quicker they're going to develop. And their future is not even based on their own picks. You look at this right here, they have a pick swap between themselves and the Clippers, which obviously they will use in 2023 and 2024. They have Houston's pick, the Clippers pick, their own pick, and Utah's pick. That Utah pick will probably be good. Their own pick, maybe a lottery pick, we'll see. The Clippers pick, depending on how good PG and Kawhi are, and then that Houston pick will likely be a lottery pick unless the Rockets make some big moves this offseason. 2025, they have Miami and Philadelphia's first-round pick. Miami by 2025 could be in a rough spot. And then they have their own first-round pick as well. However, I don't see Philly slipping into the lottery by any means, but still a lot of great assets, and that doesn't even count or take into account the number of second round picks they have, because they have 3 in 2023 alone. So a lot of good second round talent. This is a very deep draft class. You can probably hit on a late hidden gem there. Now, moving on to the later half of the decade, in 2026 they have their own pick, they have the Rockets pick, and they have the Clippers pick. By 2026, I fully expect, I expect the Rockets to probably be a playoff team by then, but I expect the Clippers to be on the downturn. Kawhi and Paul George will probably have already left by 2026. If not, they will be at the end of their careers. And then in 2027, they have Denver's and their own. 2028, they have their own. 2029, they have their own, and as well as a bunch of second-round picks all throughout the way. This team, this future, the draft capital, it's just so stacked and set up perfectly. Sam Presti did a phenomenal job. And somebody else that's done a phenomenal job, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey this year in their breakout years. Now, Shai, he had a really good year last year. But this year he put up 31.4 points, 5.5 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game in the regular season. That is wild right there. Young guy, still not even in his prime yet, and he's putting up those numbers. 51% from the field, 35% from 3, lives at the free throw line, shoots at 91% from there. So get that field goal or that 3-point percentage up a little bit. You're a 50, 40, 90 guy. 35 minutes per game, 1 block, 1.7 steals, so he plays defense as well. He's got great length, great athleticism, can attack the rim at will. Shai is an NBA superstar. And if you don't want to call him that, then you've been sleeping under a rock. Now, Josh Giddey, he might not have the deepest bag in the NBA, but he averaged 16, 8, and 6 this year on, very, very good efficiency, or pretty good efficiency as well, but those are really good numbers. Good assist numbers. The turnovers were down from last year, 49% from the field, so almost 50%, which is obviously elite, and then 33% from the 3, 31 minutes per game. Giddey, he was really good this year. I liked what I saw in that big second-year leap for Giddey there, of course, out of the NBL a couple of years ago. We all wondered, would the jump shot translate? It hasn't so far, but hopefully in the future it will. Now, a couple other young guys, the wings, the clamps that they have on this Thunder team, Jalen Williams and Lu Dort. We'll start with the rookie, Jalen Williams, who showed up and kind of took the NBA by storm. 13.5 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, and a couple of assists to go along with that, as well as being an elite defender we've seen with his size out of the West Coast Conference. 52% from the field, 35% from 3, 1 steal, plays so well off the ball, and I believe he ended up in the top 5 for Rookie of the Year voting. So far and away exceeding expectations this year. And then Lu Dort averaging 14.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, and a couple of assists as well for him. Obviously, Lu Dort has been a great defender for a while now, ever since his rookie year. That's what got him on the squad and got him extended. Now, even though he's not the most efficient guy in the world, he has a spot on the court because he's just so good at defense on the wing. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the other young guys that we haven't gotten to yet. Ousmane Deng, I believe is how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments below. But he's a guy coming over from the NBL, has a lot of potential, did not get to play much this year due to injury and being in the G League. They have Chet Holmgren, obviously the number 2 overall pick, and he was the number 2 overall pick for a reason. 7'1", can shoot threes, can handle the ball, can protect the rim, can do really whatever you want him to. Oh yeah, he's 7'1". I think I said that, but I need to reiterate it. Dude is an absolute freak. And then they also got, I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name. We'll call him Poku because I just don't want to pronounce his name at all. But he's a guy that has come along more and more every year, and I expect him to be a big part of the rotation next year in Oklahoma City. Now, the draft. They will have a lottery pick this year. They will be picking at the back end of the lottery. And what I'm looking for them to do, honestly, I think they might go the same route they did last year. Go out, take an athletic wing from the West Coast Conference that can play off the ball, can play on the ball, averaged a lot of points per game, and can really play defense. Maxwell Lewis would be that guy for me. I think that's how you construct NBA teams. You get your superstar at the guard spot, you get a big that can control the glass, control the boards, and then you get as many wings as you can that can play defense and can shoot. Jet Howard, Jordan Hawkins also there. Maxwell Lewis is the guy for me for the Thunder, but Jet Howard, I can be convinced of him. And then same thing with Jordan Hawkins if he's not already off the board. These two guys could also be picked by the Thunder, but I think they're more long shots. Dariq Whitehead, I feel like that would be kind of a reach at the back end of the lottery just due to his injury history. Of course, he was a phenomenal prospect coming out of high school. But Grady Dick is a guy that potentially could be picked here, although I don't think he will make it that far. I don't think he makes it past the Magic there at 6. Now, the last guy we got to talk about here was the shooter for this squad this year, Isaiah Joe, a guy that came on throughout the year, and he's become their sniper, their three-point guy, and I expect him to continue that on to next year. Hit a lot of big shots for them this year. So going forward, between this wing duo, between the two young guards you got with Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who are just going to continue to grow and develop each and every year, I mean, this team is looking tough. They're looking like one of the best teams in the Western Conference for the next 5 to 10 years. And then, you also got all these guys developing. Look out, NBA. I think the NBA should be scared of these guys. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.